Stars are right, and that means it's time for another episode of The Whisper in Darkness. I'm your host, the Manfromleng. Thank you very much for joining me today. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. We are continuing our campaign through the return to the Dunwich Legacy with Ashcan, Pete, and his trusty sidekick, Duke. And we are going to be playing Undimensioned and Unseen. My apologies for being late. I didn't realize that I had not set up the Undimensioned and Return to Undimensioned and Unseen deck, so I had to do that quickly. Hello, David, Rossifer, Byzantium, Pizda, welcome to the stream. Glad you guys could make it today. Before we get started, I just want to thank the patrons of the channel for their tremendous support, as well as everybody who tunes into the streams. It's always great to see you, and these people have gone above and beyond to bring you content like these live streams, so thank you very much, and thanks to everyone in the stream. Welcome, Tribulations, glad you could make it. We are playing Ashcan Pete. This was the deck based on Put the Dog in the Corner by Aram Horror. We haven't made that many changes to it. We've added a copy of Scrapper, 2 copies of A Test of Will, and I picked up, with some of the experience points I earned during the last scenario, I picked up a copy of Charisma because we have all those new allies to play around with that we picked up in Blood on the Altar. So good stuff there. I still need to set up the decks in Octagon, so we will do that right away here. Hello everyone, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. We are set up somewhat in Octagon, and we are ready to go. So we will have to go through here and set up this scenario. It has been a long time since I played Undimensioned and Unseen, so we will have to make sure that we've got it. Oh, glad that you received your playmat, David. That's awesome. All the prizes arrived, I believe, safe and sound, and that's always great. I hope everyone is staying safe out there and taking whatever precautions are necessary. I know my wife is working from home, and I am. My children are home from school, so I guess we're sort of in isolation, although I still have to go to work most days. So let's set up the map. So we have to put one of the 2 versions of the following locations in play, and well, of course we will keep the other for the random draws. Hi Juicy, welcome to the stream. So we've got the Whately Ruins, 10 Acre Meadow, Devil's Hopyard. We've already got a Whately Ruins, Dunwich Village, Blasted Heath. Already got a Hopyard and a Heath and a Meadows and a Cold Spring Glen. I believe that's all we need. Yes, that is in fact all the locations. Have I read the Dunwich horror short story? Yes, many times. Many times. It's available on YouTube they do a very good reading of it. So I've listened to that quite a few times, and I read it many years ago. It is this particular scenario is probably one of the closest to the books that are available. What else do we have to do here? So we check the number of names recorded in Sacrifice to Yog-Sothoth. There were 2 names, so we put 1 copy of Brood of Yog-Sothoth into play in Cold Spring Glen and set aside 3 copies of the Brood out of play. Now we have these new broods. We've got the Charging Beast, the Swelling Devourer, the Thrashing Spawn, and the Amorphous Terror, as well as 1 of the regular broods. I believe we need to... where is our return to? I will add that card here quickly so we can just see whether... I believe it's probably at random that you have to add, that you would choose them, but... It has been a while since I have played this, and I have this as a blind playthrough. So, if a brood of Yog-Sothoth will be put, it is chosen at random from among the set-aside broods. Yeah, that's pretty much what we expected. And so let's find a deck where we can dump these broods at random. This one will work just fine. So we will throw all those in there and shuffle them up. Now we're going to remove, I believe it's one. I have not seen the movie Color Out of Space yet. Things are a little slower to arrive up here on the plateau than other places, but my counterparts over at the Great Old Ones Gaming Podcast have pointed it that I can get it on Amazon and stuff like that, so I will have to check it out. So we're setting aside one, and then we're going to have 3 copies. So the most we can have is 4 broods. So let's put one in random and play at random at Cold Spring Glen. We're not going to set aside one, so we don't know which one. So we have the brood, the Thrashing Spawn. It has 7 fight, 1 health, and 3 agility. Massive, retaliate. Brood gets +1 health per investigator and cannot be damaged or attacked except by using the esoteric formula, which we will have to get our hands on at some point. I believe we also need the Powder of Ibn Ghazi, so let's go get that as well. So we can use the powder. So the powder enables us to enter plays with X clues on it, where X is the number of characters who survived the Dunwich Legacy, so it has 3 clues. And as a free triggered ability, we can move a clue from the powder to an exhausted brood at our location. So what is this guy? He's a 3 agility, so it's going to be a little bit tough. Hi Doovies, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. Yes, I have not played Return to the Dunwich Legacy yet, or Return to Undimensioned and Unseen, so this should be quite interesting indeed. And it's been a long time since I played regular Undimensioned and Unseen. So we've put our brood into play. We've set the esoteric formulas aside. We have the powder. We need a madness, injury, or pact weakness and add it to our deck. Okay, and then we'll be ready to go. So we'll shuffle up our weaknesses. Madness, injury, or pact. Doomed is not going to work. Paranoia will work just fine. So we have Paranoia in our deck now. In addition to, we start the game with Indebted, so that's easy enough, and we do have the one physical trauma that we took back in the Essex County Express. We, of course, start in play at the Dunwich Village. 3 Shroud location with 1 clue. We can first turn resign if we wish, which I have done on occasion when playing. Hi Robert, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. I have done this occasionally with very low willpower investigators because I feel like I can just go on and try to beat where Doom awaits without wasting time on this one, especially if you've got a 1 willpower. The chance of you taking down broods is going to be very slim. Hi Benjamin, welcome to the stream. And anything else we need to do? We need to shuffle up our locations. We need to hide them. Let's visibility. Nobody. So if I pull one of these up, yeah. All right, good stuff. And so the broods move at the end of the enemy phase towards a random location, and we need to spend we need to spend 2 clues at the Whately Ruins in order to get the esoteric formula, which will allow us to attack the Broods, of which there are 4. Very well. I think we're ready to go here. So let's draw our opening hand. See how we do. That's not going to work. Come on. There we go. Alright, so we get an Overpower, a Resourceful, Earl Sawyer, Lucky, and Live and Learn. I think we're going to need our Arcane Studies here if we want to boost up our willpower. Although the agility boost from Earl is pretty nice too. I think I'm going to mulligan everybody but Earl. We'll keep Earl around. And so that'll give us 4 cards. We get Dr. Henry Armitage. Wow, Madame Labranche too. A Glimmer of Hope and another Madame Labranche. Wow, we went all in on allies this for our opening hand. Madame is going to be, obviously, we need her. Earl is okay if we're going to evade a Brood. Especially this chump here. If we want to dump some clues on him. So we're going to have to hit him twice. 7 fight, though. Wow, that's a bit tougher than the regular ones, for sure. All right. I think we're ready to go. Let's gain our actions. Just going to have a quick drink here, and we'll be off. Okay. So I think our first action, we're going to get Madame Labranche into play. She's pretty critical to our strategy. And we could investigate here for a clue and then move away. I wish we had some more. I wish we had... You fell asleep during the last live stream. Oh, no. The sacrifice victims were the professor, what's his name, and Zebulon. Armitage, Francis Morgan, and Earl were saved. What was his name? Professor Warren Rice. That's the one. So him and Zebulon got sacrificed. I wish Zebulon had not gotten sacrificed because he provides willpower, but it is what it is. So let's, what's the negatives in the bag? We've got a -1, reveal another token, 0, or it's a -4, and I can't see what the other one is. It is a... Revealed during an attack, it immediately attacks you. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. That's the beauty of YouTube, is that you can go back and watch things that you missed. So let's investigate. We're gonna go 4 versus 3. I think we'll commit Dr. Henry Armitage to go 6 versus 3. And our first chaos pull from the chaos bag this game is going to be a -1. So we gain this clue. And I guess we'll move to 10 Acre Meadow. We could... We've got an extra Labranche, so let's ready Duke, and then we can Duke into 10 Acre Meadow. Again, 3 Shroud location with 1 clue. And as a free triggered ability, you lure the monster into the rain, place 1 clue from the token bank on an abomination in 10 Acre Meadow. At the end of the round, remove 1 clue from that enemy. Oh, that's too bad, Juicy. Lola got sacrificed. Ouch. That's, yeah, what's that, 6 experience points? Worth of allies gone. That hurts. That really, really hurts. So we're going, again, 4 versus 3. We can go 5 versus 3. Chaos Bag says -4, so nothing was going to help us on that one. And that is our first investigation phase. So enemy phase, we have some broods moving. The brood is moving. So we'll shuffle up our locations. The brood is off to Devil's Hopyard. So it can move up here. All right. That is right, is it not? Yes, plus to plus. Good stuff. So the brood is off to where we need to go, but at least it didn't land on us first turn. So we are going to gain... we draw a test of will. That's pretty nice. There are some pretty nasty treacheries in this if a brood is on your location, so that will be helpful. And we go to our first Mythos phase of the game. 1 of 5. Our first encounter card draw is going to be Attracting Attention. Uh-oh. That may mean we have a brood coming to see us here. Surge. Each Brood of Yog-Sothoth enemy in play moves once toward you. All right. And he is going to surge. That will surge into a Lupine Thrall. Wow. Farthest location from me. There aren't that many locations that are far from me here. Probably the Blasted Heath, because it would have to go the long way around. So this guy shows up at the Blasted Heath. Not a great Mythos phase. Never good when you get surges in when your cards surge, and so we have the brood right on us here. 2, 1, 2. I think Blasted Heath is far. I think they're equally far. 1, 2. Yeah, we can send him, depending what we do here. Yeah, we need to get away from this brood, first of all. So we can move a clue to an exhausted brood, but we need to exhaust the brood first. 3 versus 3. Those are pretty awful odds, but we do have Scrapper to work with as well. So we want to get to the Waitley Ruins and get our esoteric formula as quickly as possible. So I guess we go first action. We'll spend 2 resources to go 5 versus 3. We'll get a resource from Labranche. 5 versus 3. Chaos Bag says 0. So this guy is exhausted. So we can dump clues on this guy if we want to. This guy's pretty tough. doesn't say there's a limit. It just says move 1 clue from powder to an exhausted brood at your location. So we can dump all 3 clues on this guy if we want. It's just if we draw a... Hi Bernard, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. Hi Kodab Games, glad you could make it. You've been busy on your channel. 7 fight and retaliate. Yeah, we're gonna have to. I think we're gonna dump our clues on this guy because we're gonna need some help to kill him. So we throw the powder in his face. Let us... we're going to zip over here to the Waitley Ruins. We'll duke in. And it is a 2-shroud location with 2 clues. Yeah, drawing a tablet is a risk. I realize that. But we can just take the -4. It is a choice. So... I'd rather try to take this guy out than... So we get -1 willpower here, and we have to test... we can test for intellect if you're successful. Move a Brood of Yog-Sothoth enemy 1 location in any direction. So we're going 4 versus 2 for the investigate. Chaos Bag says -1. So we... Yes, Kodab, this is Octagon. So we grab a clue so we can advance. So we will advance to Act 1B. So if Armitage survived, which he did, each investigator puts into play 1 set-aside esoteric formula. So we have the esoteric formula. And for those of you who haven't played this in a while, the esoteric formula gives us fight. This attack uses willpower instead of combat. You get +2 willpower for this attack for each clue on the attacked enemy. Use this ability only on an abomination. So we're getting 2, 4, 6 plus 10 versus 7. Wow, that's still not great. 10 versus 7. And we need to hit him twice. Do we go for it? -3. So, of course, now Act 2A, they must be destroyed. Defeat as many Broods of Yog-Sothoth as you can. And that means there's 4 of these suckers. I'm going to move back. We're going to try to take this guy down. We do have... we can lure him into the rain. If we do, we can get him up to 12 versus 7. That's pretty good. So we'll try that. Of course, we go to the end of the enemy phase, and the Broods will move, which is annoying as hell. But hopefully, maybe he'll stay put. He heads to the Waitley Ruins, which is not a good place to fight Broods because you get -1 willpower there. So, what are we... This guy also moves. We can move him to the Devil's Hopyard or Dunwich Village. I'm going to move him to the Hopyard. We're going to have to leave the Brood for a moment because we can't get him at the Waitley Ruins. That's just not a very good place to go. So we will have to wait on that one. Hi Bradley, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. Yeah, the broods are a bit tougher this time around. So we draw, and then we draw our weakness. Wow, that's not great. So all assets we control are exhausted. I can't move him to the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, all right. Okay, so this guy has to go here because we stayed at the 10-acre manor. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2. Yep. Okay. Thanks, Jan. So we're just gonna have to. Drawing our weakness is not great, and we don't really have a good place to go now to get away from the lupine thrall. All right. Well, we go to the Mythos phase. Let's see what our card is going to be. We get Imperceptible Creatures. This is one of the new encounter cards from the Return to box. It surges attached to a Brood of Yog-Sothoth enemy in play without a copy of Imperceptible Creatures attached. Remove 1 clue from that enemy. Oh. That's not good. I think I am... do I cancel that? I don't want to lose my clues on this guy. Yeah, we'll cancel it. So that will still surge, however. Surge. Oh, for Pete's sakes. Oh. Well, that was a waste. We surge from 1 imperceptible creatures into another imperceptible creatures, which is going to surge again. So we lose a clue, and we get a Whippoorwills. That wasn't great. That sucked. Okay, well, now we've got a Whippoorwills to deal with. And our weakness. And a lupine thrall. Well, I think we take the 2 actions to get rid of our weakness first off. So that will go away. We have 1 action remaining. These things are tough as hell. But I think we're going to take... I think we'll move... I think we're going to move down here. We'll move to Cold Spring Glen. Two shroud locations, 0 clues. Each enemy in Cold Spring Glen gets -1 evade. And after Cold Spring Glen is chosen at random, an investigator in Cold Spring Glen tests 3 agility. If successful, choose a different random location. All right. So we go to the enemy phase. This guy will come down and attack us. So we will take a damage and a horror, which Madame Lebranche will take for us. And we move the Broods. And it's coming to Cold Spring Glen, of course. After Cold Spring Glen is chosen as a random location, an investigator gets to test 3 agility to choose a different one. So yeah, we'll test 3 agility. It's 3/3 to choose a new random location. I kind of want Earl in play more. I don't really want to throw him. What's my odds of killing this thing? Retaliate too. Shoot. I'm gonna need everything to kill this. I need to hit it twice. Hi Peter, welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. No, I think I need to keep Peter. We get a -3. Wouldn't have helped anyway. So the Brood comes on down as well. So that is obviously bad news. Fortunately, he moves at the end, so... However, we are in a bit of a sticky situation here now. During the upkeep, we pull a copy of Lucky. How hard does this guy hit? 2 damage and a horror. But they get -1 evade. So that's nice. So we've got a Lupine Thrall and a guy to deal with. And, oh, I forgot about these chumps. Yeah. So that creates all sorts of issues. The Whippoorwills come down as well. So I have been trapped at Cold Spring Glen by a Brood and a Lupine Thrall. We are going to need some luck to get out of this. We go to the Mythos phase, 3 of 5. Our encounter card is going to be Sordid and Silent. So we will take a horror if we are unable to leave this location, which seems highly likely that we are not going to be able to get out of here with this group of enemies. So. I can kill the Thrall. Or I can kill the Brood. The Brood, we would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus 7. And we need to hit it twice. Or we're going 4. I think we kill the Thrall first. Man, it's just not good either way. Both enemies have retaliate. I can use the esoteric formula against the Thrall. That is true. However, I don't think it helps. Because it doesn't do plus damage. Duke will do extra damage against it. And I have nothing to pump the formula right now. Alright, Duke. You do your stuff. We're going to go 4 versus 3 versus 4 because of the Whippoorwills. We will spend 2 to go 5 versus 4. We will gain a resource with Madame Lebranche. So we are going 6 versus... we went 3, 4, 5. 5 versus 4. Ugh, this is awful. Chaos Bag gives us a 0. All right. So we made it through that one. Let's ready Duke. We're not going to be able to... The whippoorwills are a real pain right now. Do we evade? We're going to have to evade this guy. 2 versus 2. Let's evade the Brood. If I use the formula, I don't need to ready Duke. That is true. But I'm still 3 versus 4. Three versus 4, and the worst I could draw would be a -1. Three versus 4. I'd need to draw a -1. This guy, nope. I think I'm going to try to evade this guy first. Because he's going to hit us for 2 damage and a horror, which is not great. But he would also... He will also move away. So killing this guy seems more important. But if we miss, we're taking 3 damage and 2 horror this turn. 3 damage. We would take 1, 2, 3 damage and 3 horror this turn because of Sordid and Silent. I guess we're going to try to kill him. Let's use the formula so we don't have to ready Duke. And that saves us Earl, so we can use him in the evade against the Brood. So we're going 3 versus 4. Wow, that's really terrible, but let's see how we do. Chaos Bag gives us a 0. The Chaos Bag is kind to us, so we will lucky that to kill this thing. Okay. One problem taken care of. Now we have to go 2 versus 2 against the Brood. But we have Earl. We can go 4 versus 2. Chaos Bag says tablet. That's a -4 unless we remove all our clues. Shoot. I can take a 0 if I remove all the clues. Or I take 2 damage and a horror and I keep the clues. I'm going to keep the clue. But then if we fail... lose. Yeah, I'll take the down. I'm going to leave the clues because that's my only chance of taking that guy down. 2 damage and 2 horror. Alright, well. So we will go... This thing triggers at the end of the round. So we will go to the enemy phase. We take 2 damage and a horror to start. So Duke gets 1, I get 1, and he'll take a horror, and then we take another horror at the end of the turn. We get a last chance. Wow, that would be super helpful if we can take the Brood down. And then we take another horror. So we take that. Alright, and the Brood has to move at the end of the enemy phase. The Brood is off to the Devil's Hop Yard. Alright, so that's not great. I was hoping he would move somewhere other than Waitley Ruins, because then I've got this last chance, which is huge. I mean, that's at this point that's 5. So we'd be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13 versus 7 for 1 attack. Okay. So that was the upkeep. Let us move on to the Mythos phase. 4 of 5. We're going to get another Brood here next turn. And our encounter card is going to be Ruin and Destruction. If there are no investigators at the same location as a Brood, Ruin gains Surge. Otherwise, each investigator tests 3. Okay, so that just surges into an Altered Beast. If there are no Abomination enemies in play, Altered Beast gains Surge. Otherwise, choose an Abomination enemy, heal all damage to that enemy, and attach Altered Beast to it. When you enter the attached enemy's location, you take a horror. This Brood is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. He is going to be a tough cookie to take down. All right. Well, we do make it out of the Mythos phase without having another enemy to deal with. I feel like we should kill these birds. 3 versus 2. But we also want to leave here. Let's leave first. Let's get out of here. Yeah, I'm going to kill the Whippoorwills. I just don't want to do it at this location. Because if I engage, miss, well, I can actually add 2. Maybe I should do it here. I'd be 3 versus 2, but I can go 5 versus 2. So we'll engage the Whippoorwills. We'll spend a resource there. LaBranche gives us a resource, which we'll spend to go 5 versus 2. Chaos Bag says... Oh, come on, Chaos Bag. This is what I was worried about. -4. God damn it. Um... Now I'm taking 2 horror. Yeah, I'd rather. I gotta kill the broods though. I'd rather try to take the brood out. We'd be going 3 versus 2 though. I don't want to use my last chance because that's going to be my only chance against the broods. Oh, but I used Duke, so I'd have to throw it. Yeah, that was a bad. If I'd moved away, I would have been better off, I think. But I thought I had a pretty good shot at being 3 up. This thing is gonna go away after this turn anyway. What are my odds? 1 versus 2 if I just punch it in the face. I might as well try. I don't have anything else I can really do. So 1 versus 2. We'll just try to punch this thing in the face. I've never punched a whippoorwill in the face. Let's see if we get lucky. We get a cultist, which I believe is reveal another token. And if we fail, we take another horror. Oh, jeez. Yeah. Come on. We need a +1 or an elder sign. Ah, we got a -1. Okay, so we're taking another horror because we failed that. Then we take a horror during the enemy phase. And the brood moves. Moves to Dunwich Village. So he's here now. And then we go to upkeep. There's our arcane studies, but we're going to take another horror. I guess I'll take it. I want to keep Lebranche around as long as I can. Alright, so we're going to advance. This will go away. And it looks like we're getting another brood. Shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. Spawn one of the set-aside brood at a random location. So those all go into the encounter deck. Here are our broods. So we're going to get the Swelling Devourer. +2 health per invest. It has 4 health. Are you serious? I need to attack that thing 4 times. Come on. Okay. Where is he showing up? He's showing up. Oh, okay. Well, he shows up at Dunwich Village, so he stays right where he is. Okay, well. So we have 1 Mega Brood, and then we have a Mega Brood that has 4 health. That is pretty terrible. Yeah, and it hits for 2 horror too. At this point, Resign looks pretty damn tempting. Pretty damn tempting. But I still, well, we're gonna have to take a horror when we enter. Yeah, that's true. He's got 2 agility. But my agility is not super awesome either, which is rough. We're gonna have to draw an encounter card still. So this could get a lot worse before it gets better. Our encounter card is going to be Idle Hands. Put it into play in your threat area. If Idle Hands is in your threat area during your turn, take 2 damage and discard Idle Hands. You may take an additional action this turn. At the end of your turn, take 1 horror. Take 2 damage and then take an additional action. All right. We have to kill the bird. Duke is going to go 3 versus 2. 4 versus 2. 5 versus 2. Chaos Bag says there's another cultist. Oh, brother. 4 versus 2, and we get a +1. Okay, so the bird is dead. Thank goodness. Or we would have taken yet another horror there. So we cannot sustain taking a horror a turn, so we are going to take 2 damage here for Idle Hands. I will take it. And we get an extra action. So we're back up to 3 actions. So I don't really have a lot of good places to put clues. I have 1. I can put 1 in the rain. Yeah, I can only add 1 in the rain. Maybe this is our shot. Is this our opportunity to kill a brood? We move. We can put a token. We can put a clue on it. Hi, Hero Logic. Welcome to the game. Welcome to the stream. Glad you could make it. We move. We place a clue on it. We'd be 4 plus 6. So 10 versus 7. We've got a last chance in our hand. 10 versus 7 is 3. I don't think there are any -5s in the bag. So if we were 4 up, we'd have a shot. I think we've got to go for it. We're going to go for it. Kill the brood. Kill it. All right. We move in. We're going to take a horror. Has LeBranche run her course? Not yet. We're going to take one. All right, we attack. Yes, you should play Arkham Heroic Logic. So we take a horror. We attack it with the esoteric. First, we use the free triggered ability on the 10-acre meadow to add a clue to it. So we are attacking at 4, 10 versus 7. I'm going to commit the Arcane Secrets, or Arcane Studies, sorry, to go 11 versus 7. And we attack. Chaos Bag says Skull. That is a -1 for each brood in play. It takes a damage. And we're going to throw our last chance at this thing. So we are 15. You've never played Pete? Pete is really good. Pete is one of my favorite investigators. We are 15 versus 7. Chaos Bag says -3. The brood is dead. The brood is dead. Go to the victory display with you. We have killed it. One brood down. Well, Heroic Logic, now is your time. If you are in self-isolation, this is a perfect chance for you and Pete and the dog to... oh yeah, there is a clue, isn't there? From the token bank, yeah. Okay, so we added a clue. All right. No, I should have placed it from the token bank, Peter. We fixed it. It's from the token bank. So he is dead. We have killed the brood. We killed the big nasty brood. So let's see where... enemy phase. At the end of the enemy phase, our brood here moves. He is headed off to the Blasted Heath. Good on you. You go up there. Stay out of my way for a minute. I don't know how we take that. No, I placed the clue from... 10-acre meadow says you lure the monster into the rain. Place one clue from the token bank on an abomination enemy in 10-acre meadow. So it comes from the token bank. So we had 2 clues on him already. We added another clue and then killed it dead. So we are okay. No, it's all right, Peter. We're all good. So we are still alive, and we've killed a brood, and we've got a magnifying glass. Not the most helpful thing for the time being, but... gives us a little bit of way to get clues. We need to figure out how... honestly, I can't kill a brood that has 4 health. That just seems... That's 4 attacks. And you got to take an attack with one that's going to deal 1 damage and 2 horror to you. If Heroic Logic says if Barkham was out, I'd play the hell out of it. Well, yeah, of course. Because then you can play Duke and Ashcan as your hero, is your ally. Hopefully. That would make sense. Yeah, this actually today's stream, I was all prepping and ready to go to talk about the new Arkham Horror product that was going to be announced yesterday. Lots of speculation about what that was going to be, and then the announcement was delayed until next week due to the coronavirus. I had initially thought it might be something like a bunch of player cards for each class, but then it turned out, I think I'm sort of leaning towards either an expansion that provides a bunch of different encounter sets that you can mix and match to play some different encounter sets that you can mix and match. I know they've released a Lord of the Rings product that has that sort of idea. I've also seen another idea that would be sort of additional cards for each of the investigators, which might be interesting as well. I know they've done that sort of thing with the Arkham Horror board game. Pre-constructed decks. They did announce it on Facebook? I didn't see that. First one is the Boxer. Okay, now I have to go look at this. Thanks a lot, guys. Now I have to go look at this. We're gonna take a second here to go and look at this. Or Instagram. Oh, I don't have an Instagram. Starter decks for players that don't have an entire collection. Yeah, they didn't announce it on Fantasy Flight's Facebook. If it's on Instagram, I don't have Instagram, so I will have to go look that up then. There's a Reddit link. Okay, let's go to Reddit then and see what... So maybe we can talk about this as well. Announces Investigator Starter. Well, there you go. Investigator Starter decks. Huh. Well, there are so many investigators available that that they could just scanning here to see quickly if there's see if there's a better thread here. Doesn't look like it. They just said maybe this has it. Well, pre-constructed decks for, I mean, that's always good for new players to, so you can buy into an investigator and leap right into the game. That's pretty good. And they do have, I think, enough investigators that they could release. I don't know how many are in the, yeah, Lograk. Yeah, the 24th, I think, is when it's going to be. So if they release a new investigator, if the preview is any good, I'll probably have a stream playing that investigator shortly thereafter. So yeah, pre-constructed decks with, I guess maybe they usually release them in 4s, so maybe we get 4 of them. That would be cool. And there's supposedly a Boxer as the first one. I can't remember. Do we have a Boxer? I don't recall there being a Boxer in Arkham Horror, but I could be wrong. So we drew during the upkeep after that segue, and we will go to the Mythos phase. So we've got 1 of 6. Encounter card is going to be Towering Beasts, attached to a Brood of Yog-Sothoth. Enemy in play. Attached enemy gets +1 fight and +1 health. So yeah, this Brood now has 5 health. I don't know how on earth I take down this guy. Enjoy your pizza, Bernard. So we end up with the Towering Beasts on the biggest brood. It has now 5 healths. There is a boxer on mano a mano. That's right, Pizda. There is a boxer. Yeah, like Marvel. I do like that aspect of the Marvel game where they are releasing each of the heroes sort of not in boxes but as separately, so you can pick and choose which heroes you like. Personally, I told my friend that I would wait until they release Squirrel Girl, and once Squirrel Girl is released, then I'll buy into Marvel. So it could be a while. Although I would be tempted if there were a couple of other heroes that if they released certain heroes, I might be tempted to jump into that. But so far, I have resisted the urge because I don't need any more cards in my house. All right, so we drew a Towering Beasts. We are going to... Well, we're sort of in a... We killed a brood, and now we've got a massive brood. We need to head up. There's an ally Squirrel Girl already? Really? Which pack? You just got Thor Hero Logic. Yeah, there's a lot they could do with an investigator pack. I mean, the decks themselves, I mean, it's a 30-card deck. If they have basic and they have a Captain America. Okay, well, maybe I have to buy the Captain America deck then, just for that. I had no idea that they would release a Squirrel Girl that early. Because a deck is only 30 cards, if you had 30 cards and then you had another 30, say a 60-card deck, 30 cards for the investigator, plus you'd need another 3 for 1 for the investigator, 2 for weakness and signature card, and so that puts you at 33. So if they go 50 to, like, depending how big are the Marvel decks? Does anybody know? How many cards are there in them? Because if there's enough cards, they could certainly include enough cards for upgrades as well. So we're sort of in a holding pattern here. We're not in really that desperate straits. We don't have much in the way of health and sanity, which is a problem. But I think we're gonna 40 to 50 cards. Yeah, so if they had 33 cards plus another 17 for upgrades. I mean, yeah, they could easily put a bunch of upgrades in there, so you can buy the deck and then as you play you can upgrade. That might also be a good way to reprint stuff as well. So if say you want extra copies of Charisma and stuff like that, some of those upgraded cards, so you don't have to buy another pack of Essex, you can get Charisma somewhere else. I think that would be a really smart idea. Hi Jason, welcome to the stream. Yeah, reprint Charisma, reprint some of the other cards that see a lot of play in decks that people want, and then that gives them a reason to pick up a new investigator and get reprints, which I think is that's a pretty good way of going about it. I think I'm going to draw some cards. Before Bernard headed off for pizza, he suggested I draw some cards. We could use another ally for sure. Wow, that's amazing. 47 XP, and did the secret ending. I've never done the secret ending of Forgotten Age. So let's draw a card. We get Fight or Flight. That's not overly helpful. Let's draw one more. There's an Arcane Studies. That could be very helpful. And we'll be in a place to play it next turn. So I'm going to draw one more. We're just going to restock here. Francis Morgan, there's an ally. 4 health, 1 sanity. We could definitely use more sanity, though. I don't think we have any more allies, though, that have sanity in the deck. So his combat is not going to be overly helpful. During the upkeep phase, we draw a lucky. And the Brood will move during the enemy phase. The Brood is off to the Waitley Homestead, or the Waitley Ruin, so he will move over to the Devil's Hopyard. Alright, so taking down a Brood with 5 health is going to be pretty tough. Pretty tough. Yeah, I'm gonna play. I want to play the Arcane Studies next turn, and then I can play the. I can use Labranche to get the Magnifying Glass too. So we're going on to the Mythos phase. We have 2 of 6. Our encounter card is an imperceptible creature. Attached to a Brood in play. Remove a clue from that enemy. That does nothing. Except give it elite and surge into violent commands. Put it into play in your threat area. Deal 2 damage to an investigator at your location and discard violent commands. At the end of your turn, test 3. Wow. Oh, gee whiz. Deal 2 damage to an investigator and discard violent commands. I guess we could play... I think what we're going to do... Yeah, it's starting to look that way, Peter. We've got a giant Brood to deal with, and we're taking damage up the wazoo here. I'm going to gain a resource. Let's gain a resource. Let's play... Francis Morgan. And then we'll take the action on violent commands to deal 2 damage to this guy. Francis Morgan shows up just to get violent, and that'll be our turn. Before we do that, we're going to gain a resource with Labranche so we can get Arcane Studies and Magnifying Glass out next turn. Enemy phase, we are moving the Brood to the Waitley Ruins again. So he is here. And we go to upkeep. We draw Last Chance, which is nice, but not... and we add, we're at 3 of 6, and we draw this sucker again. Farthest location would be 2, so it's going to be the Devil's Hopyard or the Blasted Heath. I'm going to put him at the Hopyard. I don't know. I can kill this guy. I don't get anything for it, other than waiting to see if we get a different Brood. I need to head up to the Blasted Heath or the Devil's Hopyard at some point here to see what is happening. Whether they have any clues I can get. Investigation. Yeah, making this Brood so massive has really just sort of shut me down. There's no way I can go toe-to-toe with it at this point. Let's just move to... I guess we can grab a clue here. Whoops. I guess we could grab a clue. And then see how we're doing here. So we can play the Arcane Studies for 2. LeBranche gets us a resource back, which we use to play the Magnifying Glass. We can... Gives us 1 action remaining. We might as well try to grab this clue. We'd be going 5 versus 3. Five versus 3. Chaos Bag says, oh no. Feel another token. If you fail, take a horror. See how we do here. We draw a skull. That's a -1. So we do pass, and we get this clue. All right. Enemy phase. This guy will move here. And the Brood is going to move. No, there are no guns and spells in this deck, so he is headed up to the Devil's Hop Yard. I think the next Brood is going to show up. Shows up on me, doesn't it? So I want to be probably at the Dunwich Village, if necessary. We draw a Live and Learn. We go to the next Mythos phase. There, you cursed me. You cursed me, Doovies. You called it. You called it. There is the Avian Thrall. 5 fight. 4 health. Okay. Well, that makes things a little more challenging. The best I can do right now Well, I could kill the thing. Theoretically, I can kill it. Thank you very much for the follow, Luke. Glad you could join us. I could kill it. If I play my fight or flight, that would put me at plus 4. So I'd be 4, 8 versus 5. 9 versus 5. Yeah, let's kill this guy. Why not? And then we can move away. If not, if we fail to kill this guy, I think we just leave. We'll take the attacks of opportunity, just move over to Dunwich Village, and then resign next turn. But I think we've got enough to kill this guy if we play it. If we pay fight or flight, that gives us +4. We play Duke. We use Duke to try to bite the Avian Thrall. So he is 4, 5, 9 versus 5 for 2 damage. Chaos Bag says -3. We need to discard a card to ready him. We will get a resource back with Lebranche. We'll pitch the Live and Learn to ready Duke and do it again. Yeah, the dog. Well, maybe he's got a bit of pointer in him, and the thrall is coming in for low passes, and Duke is jumping into the sky. Next one, we get a -2, so we do kill the Duke. Does take down the Avian Thrall without too much trouble with the help of fight or flight, and then we're going to move away from this guy. So we're hanging in there, but we're not really doing a whole lot. We get a cherished up keepsake. That gives us some more sanity. During the enemy phase, this guy moves here. The Brood is staying put at the Devil's Hop Yard. We go to the next Mythos phase. We draw another... Jesus. Another Violent Commands. Oh, draw a card for... I totally forgot. After you defeat an enemy, we can draw a card. So yeah, thank you. We get a Deny Existence. That might actually be perfect for Violent Commands. So, we don't have a good way of killing that guy. Well, I've got Deny Existence now, so if I do the Violent Commands, I can just deny the Violent Commands and be done with it. 2, 3. So he's going to move there regardless. I think... So we'll take an action to get rid of Violent Commands. And we'll Deny Existence that, so we don't take any damage. Let's Duke into the Blasted Heath. Three Shroud location with 2 clues. At the end of your turn, if you are in Blasted Heath, take a damage. Okay. So we, again, no way of putting clues on anything. So I'm not sure how we're supposed to kill Broods without being able to put clues on them. So we are at 4, 5 versus 3. 5 versus 3 for Duke. We get an Elder Sign. Well, look at that. We can ready Duke. We get a clue and we get to ready Duke. So the question is... we can take a damage. Let's do it again. Might as well get a clue here. 5 versus 3. Chaos Bag says that's a -3, so we don't get a clue. End of our turn, we take a damage. Francis Morgan will take that for us. We go to the enemy phase. This guy will move here. And the Brood, at the end of the enemy phase, moves to 10-acre meadow. So he goes there. And we go to upkeep. We draw a Take Heart. We go to the Mythos phase and we advance. Alright, spawn one set-aside Brood enemy at lead investigator's location if able. Then each investigator tests 4 agility. The newly spawned Brood makes an attack against each investigator who fails the test. The Brood we get is this one, the Amorphous Terror. 6 combat, 1 health or 2 health, 3 evade, massive. He gets +1 health. After enters your location or vice versa, test 3. If you fail, take a horror. Is the definition of entering... No, he spawned at my location. He did not enter it. So we have to test 4 agility, otherwise he attacks us. We are 3 agility versus 4. And we've got that. 3, 4, 5. 5 versus 4. Chaos Bag says +1, so we do not get attacked. The problem is we have no way of putting clues on him unless there's a way to do it here. But I think I'm just going to resign at this point. We'll see what the encounter deck has for us, but Abomination enemies get +1 fight, +1 evade. This guy is like nigh impossible to kill at this point. So we will draw a Eager for Death, test 2, test 6. Tests 6 willpower. And if we fail, we take 2 horror. Did we just cook our goose here? We may have. Test 6, or we take 2 horror. So we would lose LaBranche and him. We would need to evade this guy, move, and resign. So 6 versus 4. Let's throw those 2. So we're going 7 versus 4. 5 versus 6. Five versus 6. We could go 6 versus 6 and use LaBranche to get 1 back. 6 versus 6. Chaos Bag says Skull. That's a -2. So we can lucky that and pass. I realize I committed Take Heart to it, but I want to pass this actually. I can't commit Last Chance because I can't commit other cards to it if I commit Last Chance. However, we are in a position, we did pass that skill test, so we don't take the horror. So then we will simply move. We will take the, he's massive, so he doesn't move with us, but we will take a damage and 2 horror. So Frances Morgan dies, and she dies, and then we resign. So yeah, we managed to get out. We kill 1 brood. But yeah, it has the same problems as the old Undimensioned and Unseen, in that unless you have a way of dumping clues on these broods, they are very difficult to kill with just a 4. Like I have a 4 willpower, and to hit them multiple times requires a lot of effort. And yeah, I took damage, and I took the horror and damage. Duke would die anyway, so resigning doesn't cost me anything at the Dunwich Village. No, resign doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. Resign is a freebie. Hi Samuel, welcome to the stream. Yeah, resign does not provoke attacks, so I don't... Duke and I make it out. Yeah, it has the same trouble as the old one. You know, you end up with these broods, and unless you have some way of dumping clues on them, fighting them is incredibly difficult. Adding a brood that has 4 health base, and then 5 health, like that's 5 attacks. You've got to basically sit there. And you're only doing 1 damage per attack with the formula, so you've got to hit it 5 times. That is, like, I don't see how you manage that, especially when it's hitting you for 1 damage and 2 horror. This brood is a little bit easier, but of course each time you enter his location you've got to make a test. This basically is an imperceptible creature. It has the same, or no, it's an altered beast. This brood has an altered beast. So you're going to take a horror every time you walk in there to fight it. So if there was a way to dump clues on him, let me see, what was the Devil's Hop Yard? Yeah, the Devil's Hop Yard is where I needed to go. You lure the creature into the thick fog. You can place 2 clues on it. So I might have been able to take this one, but I would have taken a horror, and I probably would have gotten trapped and killed, and I don't think that's worth the effort. So we end up with 1 victory point. I think if I'd revealed Devil's Hop Yard earlier, I might have made a run for it there. But what we needed, I think, is if these 2 broods had come out in different order. If this guy had come out, the Amorphous Terror had come second, we could have killed him at the Devil's Hop Yard, and then we would have easily resigned when this guy came out. So, but we end up with one VP, so, and we only played 1 Test of Will, so that'll replace that. And I think I still have a couple of experience points that I haven't spent going into Where Doom Awaits, which is going to be... I have not played that one either in Return to mode. Maybe they fixed the beginning of it. Maybe not. Maybe I'll need to get a newspaper or something, or just hope I draw my Arcane Studies magnifying glasses. Yeah, I get to rebuy Test of Will, basically. That's That's all I could. But I mean, this is the thing. You just want to try to get out of this alive, and I think I did that. And so we will tackle Where Doom Awaits next time. Looking forward to that one. We're closing in on the end of the campaign. So far, we've only taken one physical trauma. So I think we're doing pretty well, actually, for considering how badly Miskatonic and Essex went. The past two have gone pretty well. No, I'm not gonna have time to play another one today, Peter. I'll be back playing. I'll play another one another time here. We're trying to get. I'm trying to get a bunch of stuff done, and it's the coronavirus is making it a little more challenging to get things done because I've got kids at home and whatnot. So I don't have as much free time as I used to. But so coming up, we're going to have Where Doom Awaits. We're also got the announcement of the pre-constructed investigator decks. I'm really looking forward to seeing what those entail. Hopefully we'll get a look at the investigator on the 24th. And from there, we'll just build. We'll set it up and play it if we can. Nate, Lost in Time and Space, and I have... we are going to replay the Return to Echoes of the Past because we screwed that one up. We forgot about the old Keeper of the Oath, this guy here. We forgot about the Keeper of the Oath, so we are going to replay that one. And Byzantium, I feel bad for Italy right now. That's very rough. I hope you are staying safe. Yeah, no, I'll be streaming, so we've got the pack announcement, which I'm looking forward to. We've got Where Doom Awaits coming up. We've got our replay of Echoes of the Past. We have, I want to play Search for Kadath with Luke Robinson, and we have, I believe it's 1,000 Shapes of Horror with, what's her name? The violinist. And then I've got card reviews to work on as well. So lots to do. Lots and lots to do. And hopefully we will be able to get to this. I'm also enrolled in a college course at the moment. So that will be done in early April. And then we'll just be creating content. So thanks everyone for joining me for Return to Undimensioned and Unseen. We end up with 1 VP, which will be enough to replace the Test of Will we played. And we will head into Where Doom Awaits and then finish it off with Lost in Time and Space. Thanks everyone for joining me. I hope that you are staying safe out there amidst this I guess, unprecedented situation that has taken over the world. I don't think there is anybody at this point who isn't affected in some way. And we are doing our best here to stay safe and healthy, and I hope that you will too. I will be announcing future streams on Facebook and Reddit, so stay tuned for those. Until then, I hope that you stay safe, and I will see you again next time. Thanks for everyone for tuning in. That's going to do it for this stream. If you enjoyed what you hear, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you need to contact me, I can be reached at manfromleng@gmail.com. I am also on Twitter at manfromleng. And if you'd like to become a patron of the channel, head over to patreon.com and sign up for a tier of your choice. That would be amazing of you. Until the stars are right, keep your shotgun close and your elder sign closer. Take care out there, and happy investigating.